One of the customs that we have during the month of Elul is, of course, in the morning after Shachris, prior to the David, we blow the shofar. And there are multiple reasons given why we blow the shofar for the entire month of Elul. Of course, the primary mitzvah being on Yom Teruah and on Rosh Hashanah itself, but we extend it. The minhag is to extend it already from the beginning of the month of Elul. And perhaps that is due to the historical context to commemorate that, just like when before Moshe ascended once again to Har Sinai, the shofar was blown to remind them not to fall back into their similar ways as the first time Moshe ascended. And perhaps there's a parallel in Elul that we remind ourselves not to slip back, not to fall back into how we've previously acted, but to maintain our composure and continue in our avodas Hashem. Perhaps it is a spiritual alarm clock, as the Rambam famously writes, or perhaps it is a mimic of that which we do on the Yom Noraim, on Rosh Hashanah itself, a means of preparation, perhaps even a dirabanan, and therefore there's much discussion and multiple reasons as to why we read the shofar. The consensus on a halachic level seems to be that it is on the level of a minhag, and there are different practical ramifications of that. But ultimately, these are some of the reasonings, understanding as to why we blow the shofar on, starting throughout Elul. However, there's an interesting discussion which arises in the poskim in the context of blowing shofar and Elul, which is the question of what happens if one is unable to make it to minyan. If one is out of town, one is by themselves, one can't make it for whatever reason to shul, do they still go ahead and blow? Is the chiyuv on the individual, or in the yachid, or is it on the tzibur? Is there any merit in blowing it on one by oneself? And this is a debate amongst the poskim. And there are those that say, yes, still it is worthwhile. If after all, like the Rambam says, it is a spiritual alarm clock, then why not do that for myself as well? It is beneficial to hear the sound of the shofar to remind myself that the Yom Hadin is coming. However, of Eliezer Waldenberg, the Tzitz Eliezer, argues that no, one does not actually blow the shofar except for B'tzibur, except for in the context of a minyan, in the context of the community. Why is that so? He explains, because the efforts, the arousal that we are trying to accomplish through the sound of the shofar is far greater in the context of the tzibur. So much so that it is really only effective to be able to take full force if we hear it together with our neighbors, with our community, to remind ourselves that Rosh Hashanah is coming, and to arouse ourselves in that way, preparing for the Yomim Noraim. There's something so powerful about growth together as a tzibur, about coming together, about reminding ourselves that Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur are around the corner, b'tzibur. And that is one reason why we are putting such an emphasis this year on preparing as a tzibur, because what we can remind each other and support each other in as we approach this time of year as a tzibur is far greater than any of us can accomplish on our own. And for that reason, we encourage everyone to sign up, if you have not yet, for our siyum that we will be making communally together on Tanakh, on Mishnayos. You can see the link on the website and sign up there. Is that reason we are increasing our Talmud Torah, our learning, encouraging people to join us for the Monday night Beis Medrash, and launching tonight a Thursday night Cholent and Shmooze that will take place throughout the Yom Noraim, starting now, tonight, and continuing through Elul and the Sefer Simei Tshuva. I wish everyone a great day.